So, what's the foundation? What makes our business, much less our life, when we have a legacy vision, what makes it actually earthquake proof, bulletproof, unshakable? Hey guys, it's Robert. Thanks for joining me here in faith and mission based training, if you will, for networkers, entrepreneurs. If you're in a profession where you actually are your own boss and you build teams and it's up to you to, there's no boss looking over our shoulder. And you're looking for ways to, create that legacy, next level business and impact, then you're in the right place. We want to welcome you. This is Robert here at my home office in Granbury, Texas. So this is the fundamental piece where everything we do, I kind of build it around this piece, if you will. So I'm going to draw out a little visual structure of what I'm talking about and hopefully paint this picture for you in the next few minutes. Okay. So I'm going to create a structure that kind of sums up what we're talking about here. So whatever, and this is the top of a hill. Yes, pardon my Picasso-like or lack of abilities. So the foundation of this structure we're going to be creating here is core values and principles. Okay? Core values. What are the principles that your whole business, much less our life, is built around? In my case, it's built on the timeless principles with a little heavenly guide built in here. So it must be built on, it's been my experience that unless we have those parameters to base our decisions on, when we come up with the small and big decisions in life on a daily basis, what do we have then to put them up against? What determines our choices we make? And it goes back to what are the underlying core values and the principles that we live our lives by. Okay. And now we come up with, there's 3 pillars here that we're going to look at. And we can break these down later, but imagine these are little columns, if you will. We're building a more Romanesque type structure here. Okay. Put 3 in here. All right. So here are our 3 pillars. And part of the way to create this structure that's lasting, earthquake-proof, legacy, is to focus on these. And speaking of that, one of those pillars happens to be that word, which is focus. We live in a world and a society where it's always looking to distractions are everywhere. And the origin of distraction is to pull apart, to dis and then tract, action and cut apart. Distractions pull us away from our vision, that end destination. So we have to laser focus. That's where the true power is as we move forward in our business. What truly matters versus just staying busy. And the middle one here is a crucial one, and it has to do with our physiology. Meaning, up here we have the mindset. Okay, the 3rd pillar is mindset. We're going to address that. Although if we don't handle our state, our physical state that we're in, and find ways to keep that energy and physiologically high, and part of the whole way to create this energetic and highly vibrating physiology, it does have to do with mindset, has to do with what we focus on, the good, the bad, the ugly. We choose what we focus on. It's also built on remember, even a foundation of an earthquake-proof structure, a legacy structure, it's still built on something. This bedrock down here, what could that be? I'm going to suggest in this analogy that this structure down here, I call it MNM, MNN, movement, nutrition, mindset, which ties into here. I know it's fundamental. That's why it's the foundation. But if we're not actually moving, the physiology will decline. If we're not stressing it in a good way and moving, it's almost like if this doesn't become a habit, like eating, like recharging, like in our case in this community, praying, whatever it is, our core habit, our physiology will suffer, our focus, we're unable to focus, much less do our job, and we definitely want to have the right mindset. And nutrition's fundamental. What we eat dramatically affects how much energy we have to give and fuel our dreams and visions. And then obviously mindset is tied into the pillar here. So MNM is kind of the foundation that gives us the energy and the focus and the firm foundation to stand on, if you will. And we're going to do other talks in the future about each of these pillars. I'm actually going through a series right now with my team just on breaking each pillar down. And here's the fundamental difference. A lot of companies have this, especially the core values, mission statements, etc., and they teach mindset, physiology, focus. What's lacking, why some of these structures are unstable and they can be torn down easily, is they don't have this capstone. The capstone is what makes all this work. And what's the capstone? This is the roof, the capstone, and what is it? Here it is. Divine guidance. Especially in this context, if you're on this page or on my YouTube channel, whatever it is, whatever platform you're on, we personally stand on, it's all about being divinely guided. And it's been my experience that unless we have a bigger than each ourselves vision and we open ourselves up for divine guidance, which is timeless, we will never have that deep sense of fulfillment, purpose, even joy in the process of creating this legacy. And so many businesses, individuals, they simply lose track, and maybe they're not grounded, and they don't put the capstone, which is allowing ourselves to be guided and directed by a bigger, deeper, higher purpose and reason. It's that divine guidance capstone. How do we create this structure? Well, we start, again, make darn sure that we're very clear on what the core values, especially if we're looking at a business here, especially if you're in like direct sales, network marketing, entrepreneur, look at the mission, look at the underlying standards, core values of your business structure. If they aren't in place, create them. If not, find a way to instill them in that structure, or find a structure that does. And then focus, remember, laser focus, otherwise it's just scattered, allowing every distraction to pull us apart. Physiology, again, there's so many ways to affect that, our state, so many ways to elevate that, change it up, be creative. Look at the 6 core human needs. We can talk about that later. And also the mindset, what we think about creates our thoughts, create our feelings and thoughts in turn create our actions, which create our habits, which lead to every result, good or bad. And the capstone is the divine guidance. I'm going to stop here, but I just wanted to introduce this concept. And then really the way to fuel it and energize it is to move, fuel our body, and focus on the right headspace. So I just wanted to tee this up. Love to get your comments below. And if this makes sense, and again, especially with the divine the capstone here, and welcome. And I look forward to many more sessions with you. And definitely, if you're on my YouTube, subscribe. If you're on Facebook, hopefully you like this and stay tuned for the next session. And God bless.